Guys, I think one of the greatest lasting legacies of President Trump is that he made politics fun. He made politics interesting. President Trump had people watching C-SPAN, okay? Listening to boring congressional hearings. That's how much impact this man has had on this country in terms of bringing hardcore politics to the mainstream. He's made the public much more informed about what our elected representatives are doing and fighting for in this country. And when a lot of people who weren't paying attention before actually get to see what these people are talking about and what they're pushing for, some of us are appalled, okay? Because we did not imagine that what they're saying behind closed doors is completely different than what they're telling us on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or any of these mainstream networks. And quite honestly, guys, I'm very happy about this. And I think that this is amazing. This is a great thing. And the reason why it's a great thing, because when politicians operate in the dark, it makes it easier for them to be corrupt. Okay? And what we need to do right now, we need to weed out the corruption more than anything. And what I love about Tucker Carlson, who I've told you guys 1,000 times is my favorite political analyst / commentator by far, is that he just has this way of being a part of the establishment media, but also railing against the establishment at the same time, hitting all the right points that nobody else, left or right, in the mainstream media will even dare touch. And tonight, Tucker did it again. He revealed a bombshell about how Mitch McConnell is using impeachment to try to influence President Trump in the last few days. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. So Tucker Carlson has dropped a bombshell about how Mitch McConnell may be blackmailing President Trump in order to keep him from pardoning Julian Assange. Now, before we get into this conversation, I just want to give you guys a background in terms of what Tucker Carlson is talking about here. He is making a case, and he's been making this case for the last week or so, about how President Trump should pardon Julian Assange, okay? And he's also talking about John Carrico, who was a former CIA agent who blew the whistle on some corrupt interrogation practices that were going on by the CIA. So that's the context of the conversation. Let's take a listen at Tucker.
And in both cases tonight, as one of his final acts as president, Donald Trump has the opportunity to make that right, to pardon both of them. We told you that last night. We told you it before. We're hearing tonight that neither man, particularly Julian Assange, we don't know if this is true, is likely to get a pardon. Why? Well, apparently because Republicans in the Senate, and by Republicans in the Senate we mean Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the leader of Republicans in the Senate, has sent word over to the White House: if you pardon Julian Assange, we are much more likely to convict you in an impeachment trial. Now, is it legal to hold that over a president's head? We're not lawyers. We don't know.
There's no way that can be legal. There is no way this can be legal. I mean, if this is true, guys, think about this. They're essentially saying, listen, we don't care as much about what happened at the Capitol. We go out here and we tap dance for the Democrats. We tap dance for the public. We tap dance for the corporations to try to keep this money. But it's not enough for us to convict you, okay? It's not quite enough. But what is enough, what we will convict you over, is if you pardon somebody who blew the whistle on corrupt establishment practices. If you blow the whistle on somebody who has revealed war crimes, right, that we've committed, then we will convict you. We'll make it so you will never, ever, ever be able to be president Again, it just goes to show, guys, these people don't care, okay? They sit up there in the Senate floor and they want to get on their moral high horse. A lot of people want to be on their moral high horse right now, but they don't really care. They're doing it to save face. They're not doing it because they feel bad about what happened. They're using it as a political tool solely to keep President Trump in line in his final days in office. This is how stuff works. And this is why I try to tell you guys about Mitch, about Nancy Pelosi. There's a reason why they are the leaders of their parties. They operate differently. They operate on a whole different level than everybody else in Washington. There's a reason why. They're at the top of their parties. It's not by mistake, right? They're not incompetent. They're not stupid. They're very intelligent, and they're very sophisticated in terms of how they go about navigating the swamp. Okay? This move right here, I 100% believe it. And I'm not surprised at all to hear that Mitch basically is blackmailing the president. Basically saying, listen, if you ever want to have any chance of running again, you better not pardon this guy. That's how the establishment rolls. And guys, if you haven't seen by now, Mitch McConnell's more concerned about protecting the establishment than he is about the 75 million people that voted for President Trump. That's just a fact. I can't square it any other way. I mean, he's making it clear to people that that's what it is.
Certainly wrong. But more than that, it tells you everything about their priorities. At a time when this country in some ways is coming apart, we're at a pivot point in American history. And if you're watching this show, you probably feel pretty threatened, and for good reason. There are people on the other channels saying they're going to hunt you down like a terrorist. At that moment, what is Mitch McConnell, your designated defender in the United States Senate, worrying about? He's worrying about protecting the uniparty in Washington.
Facts. I mean, this dude is going to church with Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. I think on the first day that Biden's going to be in office. This man's going to church with them. You know what I'm saying? Conservatives are being censored left and right. And you're seeing big tech overstepping their boundaries. Right? And Mitch McConnell's not saying anything. He don't care. He's more worried about the establishment and trying to virtue signal to make sure he can continue to get pimped out by corporate America. That's what Mitch McConnell's worried about right now. Mitch McConnell's not worried about the 75 million Americans who are concerned about the direction that this country is going in, who are concerned about our voices potentially being silenced. He's not concerned about that. Matter of fact, he probably would like it for our voices to be silent so that we stop paying attention to politics. So that way they can go back to business as usual. This is how the game is played.
Not his party and the Democratic Party in permanent Washington. They're the reason both these men have been locked up, because both these men embarrassed permanent Washington. That's their crime. And his priority in the final hours of the Trump administration is to make certain that they remain punished for doing that. It tells you everything. We don't know what's going to happen in the end. We've got a number of hours left for the president to make that decision. But we want you to know how that decision is being made, because it's deeply revealing.
Boy, I'm telling you, my man Tuck. He the best in the business, man. I really do look up to him. I respect the grind. So Hannity also tonight went off on Mitch McConnell as well. And it seems like, which again, this is weird, guys. It is very weird to see Fox News, which is an establishment outlet, going off on the establishment. I mean, it is very weird to see, which tells you that like Fox News really is feeling the heat, right, from the ratings drop. Because, guys, Fox News hated Trump before Trump got in office. I mean, they were all team establishment. Now they understand that the establishment can't save them from a drop in viewership. The establishment can't save them from losing viewers to Newsmax and OAN. So now you see, you know, Hannity coming out here and laying the wood to Mitch. I mean, Tucker has always been pretty fair and balanced in my opinion. But, you know, Hannity has been, you know, kind of a hardcore conservative for the most part. So let's take a listen at Hannity try to give Mitch a run for his money.
Okay, Mitch, I will give you an A+ on getting constitutionalist judges on the bench. Been great on judges.
I will say, Mitch has been a beast at that. He's been a absolute beast at getting judges on the federal courts, conservative judges, and orchestrating retirements for people who are getting old to make sure they get young people in there. He honestly has set up the judicial system for conservatives for the next probably decade at very least. Okay? So I do have to give him credit for that. He knows how to operate in the swamp.
But frankly, it looks like it's time now. You're going to go along with all of this nonsense. We need new leadership in the U.S. Senate. You can represent the people of Kentucky. You're showing basically right now that you're the king of the establishment Republicans that, frankly, have always had and remain having contempt for President Trump, but more importantly, the 75 million Americans that voted for him. Americans want somebody that will fight for their values and principles, not scheme behind closed doors with your buddy Chucky Schumer. For every Republican in the Senate, let me be even more clear. Not one Republican senator should be wasting a second of precious time, you're off half the year anyway, on this post-presidential impeachment charade. Every Republican senator needs to walk out of what will be an impeachment shift show. Probably Romney, Sass, and Murkowski will stay. And when it's over, Republicans should walk back in and acquit the President of the United States, or former president at the time, and stop the unconstitutional shift show. And Mitch, if the choice, to be frank with you, is weak establishment republicanism versus America first, I choose the latter. I venture to guess the overwhelming majority of Republicans would agree with me. It's why I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered conservative.
Yeah, Hannity got that right. And that's also why Hannity is running with this right now, because he know where the audience is at. But he's 100% right, man. He's 100% right. The Republicans cannot move forward with this impeachment trial charade, man. I mean, I've been saying it like, it just doesn't make sense. This is obviously a Democrat trap. And these weaklings in the GOP are allowing themselves to be guilt tripped into going along with something that's ultimately going to destroy the GOP. Like, what are you doing? You know that this is BS. Nobody even knows if it's constitutional to even be having a Senate trial when the man's not even in office. Okay? You don't even know if he's even constitutional. And y'all over here pushing it back so that Biden can get his first 100 days. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I get it. You know, want to be bipartisan. That's good. Want to get stuff done. I get it. But you need to take care of your own first. Take care of your own. Acquit the president. Stop the charade. And then you can go and try to be buddy-buddy with the Democrats and try to get some work done. But until you handle your business first, which is to stop the Democrats from destroying the Republican Party, it ain't going to matter how bipartisan you are with the Democrats, because the party will be destroyed. Okay? So, these guys, man, we're going to see. We're going to see. This Senate trial is going to show us who is who. And we've said this before when it comes to the electoral college vote certification, but that's a little bit different. This impeachment is not a game. This is not a political game. This is serious. This is the ultimate vote. Because the Republicans choose to convict the president, and he no longer can run again, the GOP will be destroyed for at least the next decade minimum. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.